Imagine a world where every memory you keep, a birthday, a wedding, a spontaneous night out, is no longer just preserved but remade, retouched, even reinvented with a tap or a prompt. What if your childhood photo booth moment could be relit by an artificial sunset? What if an awkward family portrait could be harmonized in perfect composition, no matter how chaotic the day really was? And what if, every time you shared these memories, you were also giving away something you never intended to? This isn't science fiction. It's the new reality, thanks to Google Photos' latest AI-powered transformation. But at what cost do we gain these digital superpowers? This is the story of how a seemingly innocent app for storing our memories became one of the most powerful, controversial, and possibly dangerous technological platforms of our era. And if you've ever shared a photo or wondered who else can see your past, you need to hear what's coming next. Let's step back for a moment. 10 years ago, Google Photos appeared as the solution to a growing digital headache. Our lives were becoming mountains of phone pics, scattered across devices, and most of us didn't have a clue what to do with them. Google Photos wasn't the first online photo organizer, remember Picasa and Flickr, but it was the first that promised effortless backup, lightning-fast search, and editing at your fingertips. For a while, it even offered unlimited free cloud storage, which felt like magic. Today, Google Photos is a digital behemoth with 1.5 billion monthly users and more than 9 trillion photos and videos uploaded. Yes, trillion with a T. That's more pictures than there are stars in the Milky Way, all living on Google's servers. It's incredible, but also a little unnerving. Over the years, Google Photos evolved far beyond a simple vault. At first, AI was just the helpful ghost in the background, quietly recognizing faces or grouping beach trips together. Then came the suggestions. Did you mean to brighten this? Wouldn't this look nicer cropped? The more you used it, the more photos seemed to know what you wanted, sometimes before you did. All those little nudges lulled us into letting the algorithm steer our digital past. But the 10th anniversary update marks a seismic shift, an ambitious gamble by Google to redefine not just how we store memories, but how we create them. Now the lines between photo and fabrication are blurring at a dizzying pace. The Magic Editor, the headline feature of this update, bundles together everything: lighting, background, color, blur. It's a one-tap miracle worker, or is it a clever illusionist? Take a look at the new Reimagine tool. If your vacation photo turned out cloudy and dull, you can now simply type in a prompt: "Give me a sunny golden hour." Suddenly, the entire mood of your memory is transformed, not just filtered but fundamentally altered, with AI fabricating the light, the colors, even the weather. As the Wall Street Journal's Joanna Stern put it, the AI editing tools are fun to play with, but they also raise questions about the authenticity of our memories, potentially leading to a distorted perception of the past. But the wizardry runs deeper. Magic Editor isn't just applying filters, it's context-aware. Tap on your friend's face, and Photos knows to suggest smoothing their skin or brightening their eyes. Tap on the background, and it offers to blur it or punch up the sky. Every edit is suggested by an algorithm tuned on billions of photos, many of them yours. What's groundbreaking is how this technology now interprets language itself. Thanks to Google's Gemini AI, you can find photos of my dog wearing a hat last winter in seconds, or ask the app to reframe a shot using the golden ratio, making every amateur snap look like it came from a professional's portfolio. But that's just the surface. A new QR code sharing system lets you instantly generate a code for any photo or album. At a wedding or a party, scan, and you can view, or even add to, a shared event gallery. Patrick Holland at CNET calls it a game changer for events, making it dead simple to collect everyone's photos in one place, but also centralizing data collection in Google's ecosystem. Convenience, yes, but also a new layer of complexity about who owns, controls, and really understands your shared memories. Don't be fooled into thinking this is only for casual snappers. Google Photos has opened raw image editing to select Android phones, letting pros tweak every shadow and color hue. The app now processes much of this AI magic on device, especially on new Pixels with Tensor G4 chips, promising privacy and speed. But as these tools get smarter, the questions get sharper. How much are we really in control? Every time we let AI improve our image, what story are we really saving? The moment as it happened, or a synthetic version crafted to please us? And what happens when millions, even billions, start trusting AI to decide what a memory should look like? You might wonder why this matters. Isn't it harmless fun to make your photos look their best? Isn't sharing memories across platforms instantly a sign of human progress? Here's where the cracks begin to show. As AI becomes the unseen curator of our digital lives, we slide from enhancement into fabrication. The auto frame tool now analyzes your images and presents multiple cropping options, applying classic design principles like the rule of thirds or golden ratio, whether you want to or not. Your candid, off-center snapshot suddenly becomes an Instagram-ready portrait, erasing the messy reality in favor of algorithmic perfection. This trend isn't unique to Google, but Photos is leading the charge. The major shift: AI isn't just fixing technical flaws, it's actively shaping our perception of the past. With Magic Editor and Reimagine, you can inject sunlight, remove eyesores, or even alter the background entirely with a few taps. What happens when the truth of a photo isn't the reality, but the preferred version presented by an algorithm? Dan Provost, co-founder of Studio Neat, raises a chilling point. I'm concerned about the potential for misuse, especially with AI generating convincing but fake images, which could erode trust in visual media and exacerbate misinformation. And it's not just about doctored celebrity shots or viral hoaxes. Imagine, years from now, looking back at your old albums. Will you remember the real moment or just the AI-enhanced version? There's an even deeper issue: privacy. Every time you use Google Photos smart tools, you're funneling more data into the world's biggest ad company. The new QR code sharing gives granular permissions, but it also means Google can track more social interactions more often. The Updates tab, now a hub for shared album activity and conversations, keeps users glued to the app, offering new pathways for Google to harvest engagement data. True, Google emphasizes its use of on-device processing and federated learning, training its AI on your device, without supposedly reading your actual photos. But can we ever be sure? As the information notes, Google is investing heavily in AI to maintain its lead in photo organization and search, but faces challenges in balancing innovation with user trust, as privacy concerns could drive users to alternative platforms. It's not just a Google story either. The competition is heating up, with services like iCloud Photos and Amazon Photos racing to add AI-powered features and promise better privacy. Smaller players are making aggressive moves, offering lower prices and strict privacy guarantees. The cloud photo wars are back in full swing, and stakes have never been higher, because this time, it's not just about where your photos live, but who controls the future of your memories. Even as Google touts its biometric locked folders and transparent watermarking, SynthID, for AI-generated images, the effectiveness of these tools remains uncertain. Experts worry that as AI image fabrication gets better, even watermarks and security measures may be easily bypassed. And yet, for millions, the lure of effortless beauty is hard to resist. The Halide camera team, veteran photography app developers, warn, while AI can enhance photos, it's crucial to retain manual controls for users who want precise adjustments and creative expression, preventing a complete surrender to algorithmic manipulation. But how many of us will say no when perfection is just one tap away? How many will remember, or even care, what the original moment looked like? Think about it. The next time you scroll through your memories, will you trust what you see? Or will you suspect that every smile, every sunset, every candid laugh is just a piece of algorithmic artistry? And if the distinction between real and artificial fades, who are we really sharing our lives with, each other or the machine? As we enter this new era of photography, the changes in Google Photos are more than just a redesign. They symbolize a seismic shift, one that reaches beyond convenience, creativity, or nostalgia. Our digital memories, once static snapshots, are now living, breathing entities, able to be reshaped, reframed, and even reimagined according to our whims or the subtle nudges of artificial intelligence. So, what does this mean for our future? What happens when the boundary between reality and digital fabrication all but disappears? Let's fast forward 5, even just 2 years, into a world where AI editing is the default, not the exception. Imagine opening your oldest albums, the ones capturing childhood birthdays or once-in-a-lifetime trips, only to be greeted not by the imperfect, spontaneous moments you remember, but by polished, AI-enhanced versions. The clouds are always dramatic, the smiles always perfect, the lighting forever golden. Reimagine lets you add that missing sunset, or paint out the rain puddles that once ruined your shoes. This isn't science fiction. As Google's Magic Editor and Reimagine become more adept at understanding not just pixels but context and meaning, your past becomes infinitely malleable. Joanna Stern from the Wall Street Journal puts it bluntly. While the AI editing tools are fun to play with, they also raise questions about the authenticity of our memories, potentially leading to a distorted perception of the past. The result? Trust in images as documentary evidence begins to erode. If any photo, new or old, can be convincingly altered, how do we know which version is the truth? The stakes are personal, but also societal. Misinformation and digital fakery, already a problem in our online lives, could become indistinguishable from reality. As Dan Provost, designer and Studio Neat co-founder, warns, "I'm concerned about the potential for misuse, especially with AI generating convincing but fake images, which could erode trust in visual media and exacerbate misinformation." But let's not get lost in dystopian scenarios just yet. The same technology that enables manipulation also offers unprecedented creative freedom. Google Photos, through its integration of Reimagine, AutoFrame, and advanced composition tools, democratizes photo enhancement. What used to require years of training or expensive software is now available to 1.5 billion users in their pockets. For creators, parents, event organizers, the opportunity to craft, share, and relive memories has never been richer or easier. Consider the new QR code sharing system. At family gatherings or public events, sharing memories becomes as simple as scanning a code. No need to fumble with email threads or cloud permissions. Yet, as Patrick Holland from CNET notes, the flip side is that photos, and the stories they tell, become centralized in Google's ecosystem. Every wedding, every reunion, every shared laugh becomes another data point, another opportunity for engagement, and yes, another bit of ourselves entrusted to the cloud. And what about privacy and control? Google is responding to long-standing concerns with features like on-device AI processing for select editing tasks and a locked folder with biometric authentication. These are strong steps forward, addressing the demand for user autonomy in an age of ceaseless data collection. The company's use of federated learning, training AI models on aggregated, anonymized data without directly accessing your pictures, is another nod toward privacy. But let's be realistic. The dominance of a central cloud provider always means some trade-offs. As market researchers point out, competitors are trying to exploit this, offering privacy-driven alternatives and decentralized storage solutions. Startups are experimenting with blockchain-based photo storage, which could return full ownership and control to users. Could we see a future where our digital albums are truly, securely ours, unmediated and unmonitored? Another important thread is transparency. Google is now integrating SynthID watermarking technology to flag AI-generated edits. This is an attempt to signal to viewers, both now and in the future, that a photo has been altered. But with the rapid advance of AI and the countless ways to obfuscate or strip watermarks, will these measures be enough? Or will the arms race between authenticity and manipulation simply escalate? Let's zoom out for a moment. The broader tech landscape is watching Google Photos closely. Apple, Amazon, and a host of smaller players are racing to incorporate their own AI-powered photo tools, each with slightly different philosophies around privacy, user agency, and creative control. The competition is fierce, and the pressure to innovate and to keep users trusting their memories is immense. What does all this mean for you? For the everyday user, the opportunities are enormous, but so are the risks. Here's what you can do to navigate this world. First, be intentional with your edits. AI tools are incredibly powerful, but every adjustment shapes not just how others see your moments, but how you remember them. That slightly crooked grin, the unexpected photobomber, the gray sky, they're part of your real story. Use enhancements judiciously. Not every memory needs to be perfect. Second, understand the privacy controls available to you. Make use of the locked folder for sensitive images and review your sharing settings. When using QR codes at events, consider the permissions you're granting. Do you want others to contribute photos to your albums, or just view them? These are small choices, but they add up to greater control over your digital life. Third, stay alert to the ethics of visual truth. Before sharing an AI-edited photo, especially one that significantly alters reality, ask yourself, could this mislead someone? Could it fuel misinformation if taken out of context? Transparency is critical, whether that means noting in a caption that a photo was enhanced or advocating for visible watermarks. Fourth, explore alternatives if you value absolute ownership over your memories. Decentralized platforms, local storage options, and privacy-first cloud services are growing, often with trade-offs in convenience or cost. Consider periodically downloading backups of your photos from Google Photos, or experimenting with raw image editing for more creative control. And finally, embrace the creative tools, but don't surrender entirely to algorithmic curation. As the developers at Halide Camera advise, while AI can enhance photos, it's crucial to retain manual controls for users who want precise adjustments and creative expression, preventing a complete surrender to algorithmic manipulation. So, can you still trust your memories? The answer is complex. The technology itself is neither good nor bad. It's a tool, shaped by how we choose to use it. Google Photos' AI revolution gives us unprecedented power to polish and share our stories, but it also challenges us to stay vigilant about authenticity, autonomy, and privacy. If the images of your life are now infinitely editable, the lines between fact and fiction will blur, unless you draw them yourself. The truth behind every picture now depends not on the technology, but on your choices. How honest you are with your edits, how mindful with your sharing, and how fiercely you protect your privacy. Here's a secret fact many users don't realize. Even as Google touts privacy via federated learning and on-device processing, every interaction with the app still shapes how future AI features behave, not just for you, but for everyone. In a very real sense, the boundaries you set today and the edits you make are training the memory machines of tomorrow. So, what story do you want your photos to tell? Will you let AI write your past, or will you become the conscious curator of your own memories? If this video sparked new questions, we want to hear them. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you trust AI with your life's moments? Are you excited or uneasy about these new features? And if you learned something valuable, like, share, and subscribe for more stories at the intersection